Hello, Professor Halsey here, and I wanted to get out a video that goes back over the Module 1 project. We had a few interruptions on Monday night, so I kind of wanted to walk back through the recording. So we're going to come here and go to the project on this page. Then we're going to download these two files. The project guide is our instructions, and the project template deliverable is what we will submit for Module 1. And we want to have both those up and ready to go. Okay, so for this project, we are going to use Python object-oriented techniques to develop a stock tracking application. We're going to take historical data of the stocks and use that to create profit and loss reports. And we're going to allow the user to save and retrieve the data. And we're going to use Python libraries to create neat charts for the user to view. Right. This week, we're just going to get ready to do the project. So we're going to make sure we've got Anaconda installed and set up and ready to go, no matter how we choose to do it. And then choose the IDE that we're going to use. And then we're going to create a practice program this evening. And that will be our submission for this week. Okay, so installing Anaconda is quick and easy, and it depends on the type of computer you're using. So you can go to the websites listed here to get information about your particular computer and what you need to install for it. If you need any help getting your computer up and working, that is what our homework huddles are for, and you would come to the top of modules. And up here in the first section, you'll see the weekly lessons and huddle hours, and this shows when the professors are available throughout the week to help you with your projects. Okay, if those days and times aren't working for you, come over here to inbox if you're one of my students and shoot me an email and tell me what time is good for you, and I will do my best to make an appointment around hours that work or days and times that work for you. Okay. Again, we'll make sure and get these two files downloaded. We'll have our instructions and our deliverable. All right, so we're choosing an IDE for our project, and I am planning on using Spider for the walkthroughs that I'm doing. And we also have Visual Code, which is available as well, and you're more than welcome to use it. Just make sure that you need to know how to use it. I'm going to be using Spider as I walk through the project each week. Yeah, for each module. Yeah, that was me. There is documentation here if you want to review on both of these IDEs, and there are many others as well. Okay, now we're going to do a brief review of Python and write a short program. And what happens a lot in the industry is that your boss will sit down and write up a little paragraph about what they want the program to do and what it should accomplish. And here they want it called prices.py, and it's going to determine from a list and a minimum price how many of the ones in the list are greater than the minimum price. And then it's going to add together all the values in the list and give us a sum or a total price. Okay, and we're also going to use the user's name in the program as well. Okay. Pseudocode is a special environment where somebody sits down and writes code-like statements that that are non-language dependent. And then I would take their pseudocode and convert it to whatever language I want as I implement the project. So here's a couple of examples. If they say input employee name, we would know to set up the variable employee name and then use the input statement and a message to the user to get the employee name. Initialize count to 0 would be count equals 0. All right, so here's where they gave us the pseudocode for our example. And what we're going to do is copy this, which is an example of what the code should look like. So I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to go launch my Anaconda Navigator. Once it comes up, I want to launch Spider. Okay. And once it opens, I do want to say again, if you're starting the project, you can go ahead and update, but do not update in the middle of a project. You want to do all that before the project starts, and then make sure everything's working, and then be able to continue on. Okay, so I'm going to close this out. It's going to give me a blank template here, and I can paste what I copied from the instructions. Okay, now I'm going to put my code window over here and my instructions over here so I can see my pseudocode, and I'm going to match my pseudocode to what my example is showing me over here. All right, so initialize the count variable to 0. We've already done that. Initialize the sum variable to 0, and I can do that. Input full name, and they put it in bold, so what that tells me is that I need to come in here and change this to full underscore name. And you'll see what that did is it generated an error down here where I had name, so instead of name down here I need full underscore name. Input the minimum price and convert it to a float. Here they have temperature, and it's an input that's converted to a float. So I'm going to use that and change this to minimum price. What is your, and I'm going to change this statement, what is your minimum price? All right, then we want to create a list of prices called price list. And we don't have to change the values in the price list, but I did forget something else. Where I had temperature and I changed it to minimum price, I'm going to copy minimum price, and down here where I see temperature, I'll paste it and make that minimum price. And then there's one down here, temperature, and I'm going to make that minimum price. All right, I just changed temperature list to price list, so I'm going to copy price. This is how much I don't like to type, and I'm going to paste it there for temperature list and make that price list. Okay, so for price, in price list, so what I can do is change my for I for price and price list. And when I do that, then I have to change this I to price. So if price is greater than the minimum price, all right, then we add the current price to the sum. All right, so before we do the if, I'm going to say sum equals sum plus price to include that price that we just looked up. So the first time through the loop, it's 69.0. The second time through the loop, it's 71.0, right? So for sum, it's going to add those two together and give us, what, 140? Okay, and I think we're getting close. Let's see. If the price is greater than the minimum price, yes, we got that. We're going to increment the count by 1. We already had that. Then we're going to output hello, full name, your, or not your, but the minimum price is, and we list the minimum price. There are count prices greater than your, or we can change this to the minimum price. And then we need one more statement that does the total price is, and then we have comma and the sum here. All right. Now we've done everything in the list. We're gonna give it a run. And I'm gonna show you how to copy and get your deliverable ready as well. So we're going to put in our name, and I go with 82, and you can see here it comes up with 4 prices greater than the minimum price. And if you count over here in the list, you got 1, 2, oh, I missed one, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there are 4 prices greater than 82, and then if you add them all up, it comes to $787. So what you may want to do, this doesn't look like money, so what you do want to do is go look and see how to format this so that it comes out as a, and I'll give you a couple of hints here, but you want the $sign in front of it. It needs to be a float with 2 decimal places. Okay, so that's just a little bit of a hint, but go look that up and see if you can figure out how to format those output statements. All right, so now that we've got that, let's get a quick snip of our window showing. And up there where it says author and I left my D number, you want to change that to your name. And make sure to include that as part of your screenshot. I'm going to delete this box here, get rid of it completely, and then paste my code. All right, and I'm going to come back to the window and get another snip of my output here. And now, notice here, your professor will be able to read your name, number one. They'll see your name here. We'll see your name here. The other thing I can do is I can read your code, as opposed to if you take a screenshot. Hang on, I forgot how to do screenshots on my computer. It's been so long. If I do a screenshot and I come paste it, and then I have to make it smaller, and then you got to make it even smaller, and then by the time you make it small enough, you can't read anything, and it just doesn't look nice. So my suggestion is you're getting more professional now. You can start to show what you're learning. You know how to make snips, and it's real easy to snip this and make a nice professional PowerPoint slide. All right, thank you. Y'all have a great weekend, and I hope this helps. Be blessed, and let me know if I can help.